All right, it's going.
Hi, Professor Smith. This is the Group 3 presentation for whether or not minimum wage should be increased to $15 an hour, and I'm Abby Thompson.
I am Ayman Al-Sufayan.
My name is Hunter Swink.
I'm Anna Wynn.
Mackenzie, blah, blah, blah. And?
And we're going to wait a second.
There we go.
Okay, so basically our position on this issue is that minimum wage should not be increased to $15 an hour because as you'll see in our advertisements, it doesn't really make sense with financial sense with when you compare it to other minimum wage paying jobs and compare minimum wage paying jobs to other jobs that are currently making $15 an hour. So you'll see our advertisement, we put side by side two images and compare them to better depict our position.
All right, and I'm going to talk about our target market, starting with our primary target market. We are going to target adults age 18 to 30. Generally, this group is starting to learn more about economics and politics and get interested in the presidential race. And a lot of times they're students or those that have already started working on their careers, not merely just like a wage paid job, but a career where they plan to move on up and plan to earn more money. So if we're talking about specific jobs within this market, we're looking at police officers, firefighters, paramedics, people in those positions. And these are generally people that work really hard and they put in a lot of time and a lot of effort in order to have these jobs. And we feel as though they would agree that they deserve to earn more money than someone that can go in and start working in a fast food industry or the other industries that don't require as much skill, don't require as much time to learn, so that they should be earning more money. So we feel like that is a great target market to really look at first. Within this market as well, we're going to look into more democratic regions. These people we're going to try and sway into our position, and especially this is where we're looking at the younger part here, the 18, 19, 20, those that have just started, they left the family, they're out on their own now. Instead of their parents kind of telling them what to do, we're going to see if we can try and change their mind to agree with us here for the target market. And then going to the secondary target market here, this is going to look at more upper class citizens, those that are either like the owners of companies, CEOs, CFOs, people at the top of the food chain here. So these are people that definitely have people working for them. It doesn't really work, obviously, if the company is already participating in some offshoring. So we want to keep it to American industries that do hire people within the country that are going to be affected by the changing minimum wage. And this group of people usually has a large social reputation where they're able to influence others that listen to them, and we think that's a great target market for us. If they don't already agree that they don't want to pay more, I don't think it would be too hard to convince them that. So yeah, that's our target market.
So here we have a mock-up of our ad for our ad campaign. It pulls in the viewer by saying, do they deserve the same paycheck? That's our driving question for the entire campaign. And here behind it, we have a picture of a woman working in fast food, and right next to her is a picture of ambulance workers saving a life, and the question is right in the middle. And we have red, white, and blue political colors because we want to place the ads during like political campaign runs so that viewers would be interested in it since politics and everything are in their mind's eye around the time that we place it. And the comparison between a minimum wage worker and a worker that earns a higher wage is exactly what we want to bring into mind for our entire campaign, and that's what we've tried to encapsulate in this one image for our driving, the core of our ads.
All right, I'm going to be talking about how we're going to be presenting our message. We're going to present our ad and our message through the use of billboard and Facebook ads. Facebook is becoming more and more popular in today's society, and I think over 250 million users log on daily. So you can see how Facebook is becoming a pretty great way to get out information to a vast majority of the public. Our other method of getting our message out is with the use of billboard ads. Billboard ads can be very effective. According to the Arbitron National Car Study, the average American spends about 20 hours a week in the car. Some Americans, due to their long commutes to work, actually spend more time in the car than they do watching television or reading magazines. Our ad is one that's pretty simple to understand and easily read, so it's pretty clear to get our help our audience get the message we're trying to send across. With the use of Facebook and these billboard ad spaces, we're going to be pretty effective in expressing our message to the public and the target market. Thank you.
And I am going to talk about explanation of the ad concept. And only about 4.3% of the American population is earning a minimum wage, and over 50% of that population is below the age of 24%. This means that of the minimum wage workers in the US, more than half are high school or college students who are either still living with parents or balancing work life and school life at the same time. Paramedics are emergency responders who are in charge of saving people's life. Sometimes they succeed and sometimes they don't. But should someone who carries that type of burden be making the same amount as a high school student who holds a fast food job and hands out French fries on the weekend? By using by using the conversion between fast food workers and emergency paramedics side by side with the title of "Do they deserve the same paycheck?" we will be utilizing a shock and fear appeal to reach our target market. And our target market will see from our advertisement that raising the minimum wage doesn't fit within our economy, because the increase in the minimum wage would cancel out the increase in people's disposable income. A better option would be to train and educate the current employees in order for them to gain knowledge and experience, which would allow them to earn a higher income in the long run. Another negative side effect that raising the minimum wage would cause in the economy would be decreasing workers' incentives to work harder and get an education. Why would someone want to pay for an education and do a physically, mentally, and emotionally a harder job when they can do an easy, low-skill job and earn the same amount of income? Increasing the minimum wage to $15 would also result in a higher unemployment. When small companies are forced to pay their employees more, but the company as a whole is making the same net profit, it would be impossible to pay all of the employees at such a high wage. And
So an overview of our campaign. The purpose of this campaign is to reach our target market and convince them that increasing the minimum wage is not a good idea. The campaign growth, we're primarily going to use our campaign during the political time periods and during the most heavily influential periods that presidents are campaigning. So we're going to focus on the critical voting periods and use a big chunk of our money for this campaign towards the digital advertising, so on Facebook profiles, on pretty much all the social media, as well as on other forms of digital advertising, so on gaming websites such as Minecraft, or where all the younger population like to flock to. So even on the sides of Google searches or something like that, we've created a banner for pretty much any type of digital advertisement. And then we're gonna, our we're still going to reach out to our second target market through the billboards, but most of our money is going to go towards digital advertising. And for the future for our campaign, we're going to adapt it as new technologies come and new social media intermediaries are introduced. So we're going to have to stay up to date with where our target market is focused at. So right now, our target market is the 18 to 30-year-olds who are on all the social media like Facebook and Twitter. But if there was a new one introduced, we'd have to adapt our campaign to that type of social media. And that's it for our presentation. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
us.
Have a good summer.
See ya.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Dude, you smashed that, bro.
What's up, Alex?